Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guests today are from the Amana Folksingers. John Zuber. John, welcome.
Thank you.
Lindsey McCarty. Hi, Lindsey.
Hello.
And Tim Pahs. Tim, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
And you are, I'm afraid, really missing out if you are not watching the video version of the Culture Crawl today, because the Folksingers are in full lederhosen regalia. And looks great. And, you know, I am of German heritage myself. I don't even have the cool hat. I am really not doing my job as a person of German extraction. So I'll have to work on that.
Absolutely.
But it's great to have you here. As we get near October, I'm guessing the Folksingers get busy. I know you've got a couple of gigs. The main one at Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest in Amana.
In Amana.
Yep.
So before we talk specifically about what your activities will be during Oktoberfest, John, you start. Tell me what the group. You're the Folksingers. Are you just a choir? Is there a band? Tell me how that works.
We've got a band. We've got a little bit of song and dance. We're a pretty active group. There are 19 members. We've got accordions, we've got bass, we've got tuba, we've got drums, and we've got a full plethora of singers. It's a good group. It's a fun group.
Tim, I know that you're a multi-instrumentalist. In this group, do you sing or do you play, or both?
I just play.
Okay.
Accompany the singers and the dancers.
On?
I play bass guitar and tuba.
Okay, excellent. All right. Lindsey, this group has a long history in the Amanas. It's been fairly recently reformed, but the history goes back a long time. Tell me a little bit about the background of the group.
Yeah, our group is a revival group as of 2017, and prior to that, we did not have a folk singer group for 15 to 20 years. But being one of the oldest Oktoberfest in Iowa, and actually one of the oldest in the country, the stage show, the singing group, the same songs that we're singing today were an integral part of those early Oktoberfests in Amana.
And you said that this group has been around since 2017.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And John, going back to the beginnings, I know you said that you were involved in some shows in the 70s.
I was in the youth group back in the 70s. Seems like a million years ago, but yeah. So we used to do performances at the old Amana High School. We used to do 3 stage shows a day during those Oktoberfests, and then one year we even performed at the Paramount. We came to Cedar Rapids, and must have been late October, early November. We did a special show at the Paramount, and that was a lot of fun. I remember that. I was probably 8 or 10 at the time. It was a good time.
What form does the show take?
Well, we do a little bit of everything. So it's about an hour and a half stage show with singing and dancing and music. And then we have a Schuhplattler group, which is a traditional Hulshocker group, men with, the whole, like you'd expect, the lederhosen slapping and the clapping and the whole 9 yards. We really enjoy ourselves. We've got a great group of people from 82 down to kind of mid-30s, and we're all having a good time.
And so, obviously, this is authentic German folk music?
Absolutely, with a new twist, though. We do some authentic German folk music, traditional music, and then we do some more modern German songs that you would hear at Oktoberfest in Munich today.
Oh, okay.
If you were to go. So.
How has that... Now, have any of you been to Oktoberfest in Munich, or are you always committed to Oktoberfest in the Amana and never get that weekend off?
The beauty of Oktoberfest in Munich...
It goes for a long time.
It goes for a long time, and it all happens in September. So it's important that we send people over for market research every year. So I've been fortunate to go a couple of times, and we've got, 3 members of our group over there right now who are going to come back with some good ideas. And
that's how efficient Germans are.
Absolutely.
Is they do Oktoberfest in September.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
So then what is the difference between, kind of the traditional old school folk music and what is being done in Munich these days?
It's interesting. What's being done in Munich these days is they have a traditional part of their Oktoberfest grounds on the Wiesen grounds. They have an old Oktoberfest grounds there where they do the traditional folk music and the traditional song and the traditional dance. But when you go into a big beer hall at Oktoberfest, you'll hear everything from Sweet Caroline to John Denver Country Roads to more kind of newer pop songs that they're playing in Germany.
But done in the German folk style.
Yeah. Tim could probably speak to the musicality of it all, but it is done in more of a traditional Oompa kind of style.
Yeah, Tim, how do they adapt? How do you adapt a more modern song to this style?
Well, I've played with the Guttenberg German band several years ago, and they would adapt certain songs to, say, a polka mass. And you just take the tune and add different words to it.
And this, as you said, we've been going for about 6 years, the current incarnation of the group. Mm-hmm. What was it that brought that back in 2017?
What do you want to say, Lindsay? My sister-in-law, probably?
Yeah, she was integral to
there's always an instigator.
Yep, exactly.
She was a great director that could make it happen and see it through, but I think a few of our members who's like Heidi and Gretchen, their father was in it, and they wanted to do what he did. I would say, and kind of spearheaded it as well.
I think so, and I think the other thing that probably prompted it was your involvement with the MyFest group. So in May, we've got the MyFest festival going on in Amana, and we've got a group of maypole dancers, and Tim plays in that group, and Lindsay has danced in that group in the past and plays. And I think those people who participated in the MyFest wanted to carry that tradition and spirit into Oktoberfest again, and we just decided it was time to revive some of the old ways. Yeah.
Well, this year it's a genuine Oktoberfest because it takes place mostly in September.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yep.
September 29th through the 1st.
Correct.
So tell me what your group will be doing during Oktoberfest.
So we perform on Friday in Amana. Friday evening we've got a performance where we'll I think we take the stage around 7.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's 7 p.m. And we've got a show for about an hour and a half, and that's in the main fest hall in Amana, in downtown Amana, so to speak. The converted barn, which is our festival grounds for Oktoberfest. And then the week prior to that, so this coming Saturday, we'll be in Des Moines at the Des Moines Oktoberfest. And that takes place at the Waterworks Park.
How has your show changed at all in the 6 years that you've been doing it? Do things move in and out? Have you do you do anything differently now than you did when the group first reformed a few years ago?
Yeah, we do a few things differently. We've added a few songs this year. I think what sort of happens is, obviously we're having to learn a lot of German songs, and not everybody is a fluent German language speaker, so there's a bit of learning curve for everybody. And as the singers become more comfortable with the lyrics and as the musicians are more comfortable with the music, it allows us to sort of introduce one or two things new every year. And we're kind of, I hate to say it, but we're kind of a hot commodity. So we're in high demand.
Okay,
and I think people expect more than just an hour show out of us. So
people have high expectations.
Exactly. Yep. We're trying to fill that need.
I'm coming to Amana for Oktoberfest. I want to see a genuine German folk show.
There you go. Absolutely.
Well, sounds like you deliver.
We try.
This and every year. Okay. Before we close, I know it's a little bit like trying to pick your favorite child, but I'm going to ask each of you to pick out what's kind of your favorite moment of the current show. What do you like the best? Tim, I'm going to start with you.
I'd have to say Rosamunde, Roll Out the Beer Barrel Polka. I play the tuba on that, and I play it hard.
He oomps and Pahs with the best of them.
Yeah.
Lindsay, how about you?
Hands down, the Schuhplattler, when the gentlemen haul a log from the back of the fest hall barn through the very crowded barn on stage. set it down and all start dancing, and the barn's shaking and the stage is shaking. It's the best.
And the wood chips are flying.
And the wood chips are flying,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah, I would say that's my favorite. And then the drinking medley we do, we've got about a 10 or 15 minute drinking medley of German and English songs in there, and it's a good time.
Yeah.
Well, it just sounds like a blast. I haven't been to Oktoberfest for some years, but
need to be there.
You've sold me.
There you go.
Definitely. Definitely. September 29th through October 1st in Amana. And then you mentioned you're going to be at Des Moines Oktoberfest on the 23rd, right?
23rd will be at Des Moines Oktoberfest, so that is a 22nd, 23rd event, and we're performing at 5:45 on the 23rd.
So if somebody wants to hire you in the off season or for some other event, is there a way that they can get in touch?
We're working on that. We'll say
Okay.
that.
All right.
We've got a lot of commitments within our own group and within our core group of people. It's kind of hard. We've got little ones, and we're trying to, bring some little ones into the group too, so
of
they
course.
can. We're kind of trying to get them involved, hopefully in the future, and we've got a few feelers out for some opportunities in the coming years. We'll just have to see how it goes.
Well, truly multi-generational. The Amana Folksingers in action for Oktoberfest in Amana coming up the weekend of the 29th. We'll pray for good weather, and I hope you have great concerts and a good time, and thanks for coming in.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dennis.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:30, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture or your favorite podcast player. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.